Hello, I'm Steve Carver, and I'm in Dunn, North Carolina, and we're having a webinar tonight with a great bunch of my fellow entrepreneurs across the state of North Carolina, from Charlotte all the way out to the coast. A good geography and a good mix of different businesses and folks with different things on their mind. Our topic tonight is an advanced academy lesson on looking at starting our marketing plans in such a way as to get long-term benefits instead of just focusing on short-term results. To invest in the long-term future, we need to be thinking about it ahead of time, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. This is my presentation number 1187, well on the way to a dozen hundred. I thank you for joining me on my entrepreneur trip, and it's been a long one, so for some 60 years, and let me join you as well. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, just a fellow that's been in business for a long time and counting. Had a lot of business today, had to do a lot of administrative stuff, including turning in an old 13-year smartphone and switching it over to a new one. And if you haven't done that recently, that's not a fun thing to do. There's a lot of steps you have to go through, and so I managed to make that happen today. That was my number one accomplishment. I want to tell you, I don't give you a lot of free advice on things that I've done right and wrong, but the first advice I'm always going to offer to you is get a second or third opinion for someone that knows a little bit about what they're talking about, and I don't have any grudges or axes to grind, and just interested in your well-being. Go get second and third opinions. It can help you a whole lot and keep you out of a lot of trouble. We're very fortunate in North Carolina to have small business centers located in the community colleges. That doesn't mean they're there for the college students. They're just located at the community colleges throughout the state to help entrepreneurs just like you. And these offices are manned by directors and assistants who know their job well. We're sponsored tonight by Joy Wynn at the Small Business Center at James Sprunton Community College in Warsaw. She has been in business, she is in business, she knows business, and really works hard to help entrepreneurs get started. Several of you are actually in her direct area, and I encourage you to meet with her. Matter of fact, I think I'll tell you, since she did meet with her and she encouraged her to come to these classes. So do that. That can save you a lot of time and effort. If your primary interest is in food service, where commercial kitchens may come into play, we're very fortunate to have Lynn Murphy as a part of the Small Business Center sponsoring us tonight. So if that's something you need more information about, commercial kitchens, how to set them up, how to run them, how they might help you, maybe start an incubator kitchen of your own, then this phone number right here with Lynn Murphy at 910-659-6000. She might be able to help you a whole lot, so let me encourage that. Thank y'all for a great attendance on your part. We got a lot of folks that's got 100% attendance. Several of you haven't missed but one so far. So I'm keeping up with that, and I appreciate your coming back. And I see that most of you are back with us tonight, and that's fantastic. Next week, let me tell you, we got some more Tuesday nights ahead of us. Next week, we're going to kind of focus on the four main cornerstones that we have to keep our eye on as we're growing our business for the long haul. And so I've started working on that. That should be very interesting for you. Look forward to talking about the four cornerstones of a small business next week. Tonight is lesson number 1187. Your handouts have been emailed to you if you don't have them. If you're not getting your handout, please let me know. And if you're saying no, then right behind it, give me a correct email address, because that's probably the reason you're not getting them, that we don't have the right email address. So the ones that are coming to you, forgive me again for misspelling. This should be 40 Main Street drill skills. They're very important. I want you to look at them, paraphrase them, and see how you can make them work for you. If you attend 5 or more classes, you automatically get an achievement certificate. You have opportunities to do some homework assignments, which I send to you each week, mission, vision, promise statements, and different things to be able to earn membership into the academy. and more certificates, as well as some extra challenges to get extra mile certificates. Don't wait till the last minute to start on those. Go ahead and start working on them right now and send them to me, and we'll talk about them as we go. Okay, let's get into it. Remember the first week we talked about old Nathan's, and several of you remembered him right off the bat as Nathan's Hot Dogs, coming out of New York and Coney Island, now going all over the nation. So that's a business that has been in it for the long haul and still in it for the long haul. And then last week I compared that versus a local hot dog company based in Smithfield, North Carolina. That's got a wonderful following in North Carolina. That's the Brightleaf hot dogs with the red hots and such as that. The red dogs. If you eat a hot dog in a local restaurant in eastern North Carolina, it's probably going to be a Brightleaf. So that's where they come from. Everybody's got their favorites. There's no doubt. I love the flavors of Brightleaf. I know that most of my people think that's the only hot dogs you're supposed to eat, but Nathan's is pretty darn good as well. Tonight, let's meet somebody new. And I doubt that any of you have had a chance to meet Stacy, but we're going to be talking about Stacy's tonight as an example of something that we're focusing on each week. So she'll be coming to you around the corner. Tonight is our third week special. The 40 drill skills, back to that. Please look at that handout and that study guide. There's a video link to, with most of them there, at least 30 of them, that goes into depth on them. I'm not going into each drill skills as I do in our core topic webinars. I want you to do it on your own and paraphrase these drill skills as to how you will put them to work in your business and send that to me. This is putting tool belts in your business skills tool belt. I was challenged by Joy, our director, to come up with a series of lessons that we're into now, and most of you have been with me from day one, and I appreciate that, in trying to determine what sets the businesses apart that do make it for the long haul, because most do not. Most businesses last just a few years and they're gone. Some very few of them last 30, 40, 50, 100 years. And it's my job to look at those operations and try to pull out the ingredients that those business owners have used to help stay in it, and to share it in class and to work through the differences with you guys to see how these things might work for you. I'm basing most of my experiences on my 66 years in business. It started in 1959. Worked there with my daddy for 22 years and then on for many more years. And then just a few months ago was able to sell my CarverEquipment.com business to Kyle and Jesse Smith over in Clinton, North Carolina. Here's her photo who took fun of you. So we got a new face on our company now and a new logo, and they're doing really great and learning a lot. I was saying earlier before we got started how this time of tariffs and economic upheaval has really put a lot of fear in brand new entrepreneurs, as Jesse and Kyle have experienced some of that the last few weeks. But they're holding steady, because these things come and go, and you just have to know if you keep doing the fundamental things right, you may not be doing much business, but you can stay in business and until things loosen up and do really well. And I'm happy to say, after a few weeks of the spigot being cut off, things are limbering back up now, and orders are coming in. Things are looking very, very promising now. So remember, you got to stay in it long enough to learn how to handle the tough times. My business started when people were using mules to do plowing. When we got started, they traded in their mules and on tractors. So I'm old enough to have experienced that change in agricultural eastern North Carolina, and all the way down plus 60 years to websites and people buying equipment on the internet when they used to drive the mules and the horses to town, or the old pickup trucks. Now they're using their computer to buy equipment. And that's the world that I'm living in right now and have for a number of years. Change. It's always doing it. 19 years ago, after I sold my bricks and mortar businesses, I also started teaching online at the encouragement of another small business center director here in Dunn, and have enjoyed working with classes just like we're in tonight. Did Of course, for a lot of years, did them all in person all over the state. And I had great classes with great folks, and I passed out certificates all around from Wilmington all the way over to Charlotte. So I did a lot of traveling at night, and the webinars are a whole different series, a whole different way of making presentations, and very exciting and such as that. But I like the in-house presentations as well. There's a different feel there. And so, there's a lot of people that prefer going all the way to the classroom and sitting there. So if any of you directors want to still try to do that, I'm willing, and we'll see if we can work it out. But I really enjoy these webinars with y'all as well. So let me encourage you now in these classes to get to know each other. I know several of you already have done this. I've seen your exchanges, and just so glad to see you do it. You might ask someone where they're at. That's why it's good if you will sign in over in chat and let everybody know what your email address is, and indeed what town you're in. You may have be closer to someone than you realize. And I look forward to y'all becoming business associates in the academy here with us, and know that maybe you're doing something, Roy, that Mary might be able to help you with, and Octavia as well. So learn to share, learn to start networking with other folks. You can't be in business by yourself. You have to be used to working with other folks and making it happen. So here's your challenge to you. We're going to talk each week and consider each week some fundamentals, new and old, that can make a major difference in your business. Looking over the group here, most of you are starting brand new businesses or trying to figure out what to do to make your business grow, and I understand that. I'm in the same boat. I plan to be starting a brand new business this year myself. Haven't quite decided what it is. Might be with one of y'all if you convince me you've got something going on I need to help you with, and we both can make some money at it. Maybe that's something that we ought to talk about. So I'm here to do that. But networking is so important. Artificial intelligence. And this is the first series that I've ever even used the words in, but artificial intelligence is something that we need to know more about and have to deal with it. If you haven't accepted that fact, put it behind you and let's just accept it. As important as artificial intelligence is and brand new, nothing is more important than customer service, and nothing is more important than hospitality. So the new and the old still have important blocks that we need to put into our foundations. And lastly, I'll mention that I want you personally, in business and as an individual, to be striving to be in a league of your own, a place where you're proud of what you're doing and you know that other people are watching that, and you're better at doing things than other people are, and you're in a league of your own, and you're going to keep trying to keep that high standard up there. I try to live by that, and it's not easy. But trying to encourage other people is easy to do because I do know the benefits of it. So let's look at networking now. Y'all work out over in the chat board if you would. Share some comments with each other, maybe even write emails to each other about what you're doing and encouraging other folks. Ask questions, talk about what the next business goals and steps are. And yes, Sonia, I see that I didn't get back to this slide and get that goal spelled out right. So I need all the help I can get to, but get used to networking with people that you don't know. What did you do this week with AI? Did you do anything using AI this week? Go over to the chat board and just say yes or no. Did you do anything with AI this week? I'm able this week to type in yes, because as I was preparing my presentation for next week, I used AI quite a lot to give me some ideas, and indeed it was powerful. So yes, I suggest that you do that. I'm using AI with the Google search pages, and just very impressed with doing that. So if you want to get started and just see what I'm talking about, just pretty much put in any topic that you would like to know more about in Google and search for it, and then look over in the upper left-hand corner and see the Google AI presentations that they offer to you. No cost. There's no cost to you. It's just a flood of additional information that you can hardly do it. Now, here's the point that I want to make with you. Know that AI, artificial intelligence, as I've learned in the last 2 or 3 weeks, is not just for great big businesses. It's not for people doing business worldwide or nationwide. However, they are using it big time. But it indeed can be a great help for us too, us 1- and 2-person operators or people with 10 or less employees. AI is for everyone that we decide to use it. Now, old Steve over here, I'll tell you, I'm a little bit afraid of it, what it is for the big picture. I'm a little bit afraid of it as what it might mean for folks as far as their employment. As AI don't bring on so many robots that people will be losing their jobs full scale, like we saw when the economy started going to other places in the world. And that was moving without AI. Now I'm afraid that AI may have some influence on our job markets. But I do know that me and you, as 1- and 2- and 3-people businesses, need all the help we can get that we don't have to pay for. And AI can bring it to you, especially intelligence information, preparation, figuring things out. And I haven't even touched the surface. I'm just getting general information. I have some friends that are getting real important info on how to build documents, how to set up plans, business plans, budgets, things like that. So AI has a lot to offer. Please open your sponge to that and let somebody start soaking in. So I would say to you that a good example is you may have been to some websites where you have a chance to have a chat, an online chat with someone at that website. Well, you're not talking to a person. No, you're talking to a computer when you do those automated chat boxes. And indeed, we can put those chat boxes in our own, build them into our own websites to add an additional service to our customers. Now, my students would normally say, Steve, you're crazy. We can't do that. Now we're just getting our businesses started. But listen, for years, I've been encouraging my students to come up with a list of frequently asked questions, a long list of frequently asked questions and good answers to them. And if you have done that, you can take that list of questions and feed them into an artificial intelligence software, and they will pick up your answers and your questions, and guess what? They won't stop there. They'll go out in the rest of the world of information and pick up other folks' answers to important questions as well, and possibly include that into the chat information. So I'm going to be looking at how we might be able to use that in my business. Let me encourage you to do it. And if any of you have done this, if any of you have started using artificial intelligence in your marketing efforts or in your business efforts, I would really appreciate you sending me a note on it and any links or comments that you might have to do. Now, on the network, the Small Business Centers network, where you came in through here, there's different topics. I'm seeing AI mentioned a lot in other webinars and seminars. I haven't attended any of those or studied with them. I'd appreciate any feedback on them. If any of them are extra good, if you recommend any particular instructors that have given you AI information that you've been able to put right to work in your business, please let me know. Or let the other folks know. You can put it right here on the chat board. If instructors are out here working hard like I'm doing, that's actually giving you information you can put right to work, I want to encourage you to know about them, and I'll come study those classes as well. So let me ask you, each one of you, what maybe can you do right away to use AI to help automate some part of your business? What can AI do for you to make your business a little bit easier or less stressful or more productive? We all need to be asking ourselves that question. And we just have to learn more about it sometimes to do it. So you might even go to Google and say, how can AI help me in this situation? They've got a whole chart there of different answers you can do that. Let me encourage you to consider doing that. This is for the long haul. It can make a difference for you today or tomorrow, but it might make a major difference for you in being successful for the long haul. So artificial intelligence is here. My friend, is here to stay and grow. and we want to know how to use it and how to protect ourselves from it if that's necessary. So let's together at the Academy stay on top of this and see how during the next year or so, see how we can better use it and go forward from there. Excuse the phone calls. I serve customers nationwide, and they call me all the time. So now, customer service. Let's talk about that a little bit. Some customer service secrets. We all know that it's the little things that make the big, big differences, right? The little things make the big, big difference. But in customer service, I was thinking about this hard this past week. What is the primary thing that maybe makes a world of difference in today's world about customer service? And after this tariff stuff started, I decided it was time for me to upgrade a lot of my monitors and screens and televisions before the prices went way up as they were predicting they would do. So I did more shopping during the last 3 weeks than I've done in the last 3 years. And I noticed that in most stores, when you go in there, with just a few exceptions, the employees out on the floor who are there to help customers seem like they run from customers more than they run to you. And it's just really disappointing. And because I knew that if I was a supervisor or decision maker in one of those operations, I would probably get in a lot of trouble because I'd be firing people left and right. I mean, I'm old school, and I believe that you're supposed to give customer service and work for it instead of run against it. So I decided that tonight, put into your plan, be human, be someone that reaches out, greet and smile and have eye contact and listen. I mean, really listen to your potential customers. Don't be a robot. And I really want you to say to yourself, I'm going to have a business where I'm going to smile and greet my customers. Maybe it's not in my personality now, but I'm going to learn to put it in there to become a people person. Because it's the difference in whether we're going to stay in business or not, my friends. So if you will, tell me over in chat right now, yes, I'm going to be human. Yes, I'm going to really listen to people. No, I'm not going to be a robot. Give me an amen if you agree with me on that, because that's what we have to do every cotton-picking day, is to be human and be nice to people and just appreciate that. Man, this is a long way from having a business plan lesson, but this is a lesson that is as important as any business plan you'll ever write. So 40% of customers come back to a business and continue to do repeat business for the long haul. 40% because of good customer service. Good lighting, listening to people, excuse me, good products, product knowledge, good pricing, not doing take it or leave it pricing. That's customer service. But 60% of people come back to a business because of hospitality. The incredible power of hospitality is just amazing. And what it boils down to, if you're doing all you can do in the hospitality range, using all the skills and traits you can use, from graciousness to appreciative feelings and such as that, what we're doing is trying to make the customers that are coming to us, our website or our telephone call or in person to our store, is to make sure that we consider them as guests, important guests. And we're going to do our best to make them feel at home. And that's a Southern hospitality type thing as far as I'm concerned, because I've always heard it called that, and I've seen the difference in how folks here in the South, especially it seems like in North Carolina, and then maybe the further south you get, maybe more or less, depending on the neighborhood that you're in. But hospitality, Southern hospitality, is really something special. You can travel all over the United States and find a redneck area, you might say, where people are really nice to folks and treat you well, from New York to Oregon, California, especially down in New Orleans and Louisiana, Alabama. Well, you can find hospitable folks everywhere. But here in Eastern North Carolina, we got our special brand of it, and I'm proud to be a part of that. And you know how I know it's kind of special? After some 40 years on the internet dealing with people all over the country, they tell you. It's such a pleasure to deal with people from North Carolina. Of course, I'm taking that they're talking about me and my folks, because we do go the extra mile to say thank you and appreciate you and to be personal with them, try to learn something about their family. So let's now talk about Stacy's. Let's talk about Stacy's, and you may have a operation like Stacy's in your neighborhood or in your town, and if you do, I want you to start now looking at how they do business through a special set of eyes that we're going to talk about tonight, seeing what it is that makes them special. Maybe Stacy's does some things really good. Nobody does everything perfectly, but it's the little things that we do customer service-wise and hospitality-wise that makes a difference. So let me introduce you to Stacy Holmes. She's a young lady from over in the Hobson, North Carolina, Newton Grove, Sampson, Harnett County, Johnston County, place where they all come together. Stacy was born and reared over there, raised in a country family on a farm. She's a Southern hospitality lady. She makes you feel as good as gold and melts you with her heart. There's no doubt about it. It's got a stiff backbone and will lay you out if you head with the wrong direction with her, which is typical of a Southern lady, especially one in business. Stacy owns the Stacy's Country Kitchen. She's been doing it for about 7 years, and it's a very family-operated business in that her mother and her neighbors are employees there from time to time. They've always people having change and drama in any small business, but Stacy recently got married, got a wonderful new husband and family she's working with. But she had a family before this. She had a family of customers, and those customers came to Stacy, and we love her. She's just like a member of the family. At Stacy's, 5:30 in the morning, they're ready to serve you coffee, hot biscuits, good, about 11 different types of meats that you can get for a breakfast menu. And people flood in there starting about 5:30 in the morning before light, even in the wintertime, heading for Stacy's to get great hospitality. The food comes in second, because there's going to be smiling folks there who appreciate you being in there. They're going to remember your names. They're going to remember your family, and you're going to remember them. It's the kind of place that you want to go because you feel at home. Do you have a place like that you're used to going to? If you do, I want you to have more appreciation for them and let them know. Just as I am so happy to celebrate my experience with Stacy through the years, I want you to find that to be a blessing for you. She is an example of the incredible power of hospitality to me and everyone else that goes there. Now, how did this happen? Stacy's a mighty young lady, but she happened to be working at a restaurant that closed when she was working at this place. And the name of the place where she was working there as a server was Annabelle's back in 2009. So here's the ingredients that I want to share with you. If you can find a location that has been in a certain kind of business for a long time, and businesses change, they go in and out of business. But the uniqueness of Stacy's is it started 23 years ago as Debbie's. It was a laundromat building that was converted into a restaurant, and it did really well. And Debbie was the daughter's name, and her and her mother ran that business until things changed in their life, and they were ready to sell it, and they sold it. But you know what happened? Debbie and her mama left, but Annabelle came in. Annabelle and her family came in and picked up the same clientele. It never stopped. Picked up that same clientele and built on it and grew the business with her business. And Annabelle was just loving it, and she had a large family, and she decided that she loved the restaurant business so good she was going to stop renting a building and go out down to Spivey's Corner, and she built a brand new restaurant facility just south of Spivey's Corner. And now Annabelle's is down at Spivey's Corner, some 15 miles away, with a established clientele, because a lot of people that were eating with her in Dunn followed Annabelle down to her new location. But you know what that did? That left this location that had a very serious following, and Stacy moved from a wait person someone that was waiting tables into the owner of her business, talked her mother into coming in and help her do the food prep and put a team together, and she's still rolling on. So when you are able to pick up the slack and take over an older business and move forward with it, whatever it is, then that gives you an edge. That gives you an edge for instant cash flow, a long-term customer base that if you're good at what you're doing, you can hold on to them. The danger here is if you're not good at it and you don't care about it and you don't keep the hospitality up, you'll lose that. It will evaporate. But if you're determined to take a business that maybe is closing or struggling or just changing hands for a generational reason, you might be able to slip in there and pick up a real gold mine. It's really important to know that location is important because people were used to going to that address, finding good food and good hospitality, and really didn't care what the name was on the billboard. That's the human nature of it. And for the long term, and you can see here that for a 30-year period, the location plus hospitality is equal to success in business. So maybe you are thinking about a certain kind of business and you know where there is someone else that's maybe ready to sell that business, or you know a location that might suit your business really well. You might want to think about that. I'm talking with some of you about maybe putting together a mobile type business selling clothing, or it might be books or whatever that you're selling, maybe some type of mobile business like that. And you know of a spot where food trucks or other type mobile businesses may set up and do really well. And you might want to think about, well, this might be a spot I might want to lock in on. Or this may be a trailer that's available and it's got the right kind of advertising on it that people would automatically come to me. Finding the common denominators of a long-term history is important. Finding the common denominators that this business has with the community that it serves. The location, the look, the type of products or the way you present things. So very important. But location is a major, major deal. Now, I missed the boat. When I sold my bricks and mortar businesses back in 2008, I basically lost my local identification. And I had never done it before, so I didn't know. But now in retrospect, if I had worked just as hard at addressing my local market with my internet business as I had before with my foot traffic business, my business would have probably doubled in size because I had a great local following as well as a nationwide following on the internet. If you've got a local following or the potential of it for the long haul, one of the rules I want to say to you is connect. Don't lose your connection with your local business friends, customers, and such as that, because that will be one of your foundation blocks for a long haul business. Okay? Location, connections to the local people is really, really important. So if you can capture in on that and make it work, do it. Now, Stacy's has a very reasonable menu. As you can see up here in the corner, every day she puts her specials up there, and the specials are $13. $13. So when I go in to get the to-go place for Norma and I've got $30 in my hand, and they're getting 26, and I'm leaving them a few more dollars tips and such as that. So we go from there. And they change these menus. I know what it is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so I usually don't even look at the menu. I just walk in and place my orders and say hello to my friends in there. So it's not the price. However, the price has to be competitive. And this is one of the higher plates in done now. Most plates are $10, $11, $12. Stacy's is $13. But here's the typical meal. It's good old collards and black-eyed peas and cornbread and pork chops, either baked or fried or grilled. You got your choices, but you're gonna get country food at Stacy's Country Kitchen if that's what you want. So this is what we're used to looking at, and people consider it like family. This is a lunch hour. I'm usually go in and sit at one of these tables, what they call the round tables. But there's a lot of different families that gather in, be there for all around construction teams and such as that. And everyone kind of knows everybody. We network, just like I'm encouraging y'all to do here in class. People care about each other there, just like we care about each other in class here. Nothing special, nothing fancy, good hospitality. Stacy does a few things too that other folks don't do that are getting her to a point to being a league of her own. She welcomes veterans groups to come in and have their little meetings there or committee meetings. She encourages them if they want to do a fundraiser. She encourages them to set up outside her front door and offer the different contest tickets or food tickets to customers as they come in. And pretty much all the veterans organizations in the Dunn area, including the DAV here, which we're highlighting, have given Stacy a pat on the back or a plaque or a award because she does care about the community and proves it by sharing her goodwill and her customer base with folks who are out here trying to help people too. Remember last September and October when Helene came through? Now, it didn't do much damage in Dunn, North Carolina. But let me tell you, we all know that it destroyed about 6 counties up in western North Carolina. And it is still a bad situation over there. Matter of fact, yesterday in church, our church is sending the youth group this summer, instead of going to another country to do their service mission work, they're going to go to the mountains of North Carolina. But Helene devastation was very, very serious. And Stacy's realized that. We all heard about it, and she just didn't wring her hands or knees or say, well, I'm going to send $100 here or there. Stacy and her church group decided they were going to affiliate with some church group in a community that was hard hit, and by golly, she went up there. She closed her business 2 days a week. She closed her business on Monday and Tuesdays. And on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, she took her employees and her food truck and her utensils up to another location in the mountains and prepared food to give away to the residents and anyone else who came by that was working, trying to make things work up there, just gave away the food to try to help people. Closed her business to do that. And I'm a regular customer. I'm a daily customer here. That kind of upset me because I said, good gracious, Stacy, I'm proud of what you're doing, but I don't want you to hurt your business. But you know what? Her regular customers appreciated that, and we supported her, and we still do. And we're proud. We're proud that our Stacy's, where our families go to eat, she had the courage and the backbone to say, well, I'm just going to close my business a couple of days a week, take what little money we got and go out and prepare food and give it away. Those people need it badly. She did that for about 3 or 4 weeks. So let's give Stacy a hand. I'm so proud of her and her employees. So you want to see a good example of hospitality and the incredible power of it? Stacy's Country Kitchen can show you that. Now, here's your challenge. I hope that you've been thinking, well, I know somebody like that. We've got a business in our community that thinks and acts that way. Well, what I want you to do is to tell them you appreciate them. Well, let them know that you do. Go to their Facebook pages, make some comments about how fortunate you are to have businesses that care about hospitality and other people. That's what we as the Academy needs to do, is recognize people who are doing all they can to promote mutual helpfulness. That's what I want us to be all about. So thank you, Stacy, for all that you do. Thank you for making people feel at home and going the extra mile to get there. You are indeed in a league of your own. Even as young as you are, you're certainly going to maintain that with the service that you're providing. Being in a league of your own, Robin and Sonia, that's saying that you're working hard to be at the top of the category of the skills and expertise that for the industry that you're working in, for the business that you're in. And you are determined to be a unique player. You may not be the biggest business, the strongest, have the most money or the most employees, but you're going to be working to be the very best at what you're doing. That's how you start and keep being in a league of your own. And that's what I want you to do. To sum that up, I can use Stacy as an example. And I can use probably y'all, each and every one of you, as we get to know each other better. We hear people saying, well, I want you to have a blessed day. Oh, this is a blessed business. Bless this and bless that. Well, let's stop that. Let's stop that and go one step further to being in a league of your own. And that I want you, Kendall, and you, Kenyana, and you, Edna, that when you're communicating and moving around in your life, that you are the person that's bringing a blessing to other people. You're bringing a blessing to them with your hospitality and your graciousness and your caring and your listening and your giving. You are the blessing amongst us. That's when you're in a league of your own. And I'm going to be so happy for you because you'll start getting comments back to you. People will recognize that you're trying to do the right stuff. And you will automatically, without any effort at all, start getting that warm feedback that really sets you on fire to do more and more of it. I've experienced that, and it can be so incredible, powerful to help you want to do even more and better, that you're the one bringing the blessings and helping people have that blessed day. Not just saying it, but bringing the attitude and the action to do that. God bless you all, and I want you to do it well. So we're going to stay in business for the long haul when we're doing these things that we're talking about. When we're doing the things that we look to the long term to make it happen. So we've got 7 different classes we've gone and talked about. We're in class number 3 tonight about the marketing part of this thing. All through the webinars that we have taught during our regular academy classes, and it's more important tonight than maybe ever in this topic, advertising and marketing, we use those words all the time. But I want you to focus on and consider that advertising is, let's consider that for the short term, a campaign about a specific product or service or time frame or price. But marketing in our mind, let's put it in our mind that marketing needs to look at the long term, the long haul, not just this week, this month, this and that, but the kind of investments we're making that have the opportunity to last a while, that will keep bringing in an investment. Let's consider this. You've got a sign that you want to build out of plywood and 4x4s, and you can put it up, and it's going to cost you $100 to put that up. And you stick it up, and it's an outdoor sign. It's steady. It's got a good message on it, and $100 there. Let me ask you. Let's say it cost you $365. Okay, you stick it up. During the first year, how much per day does that sign cost you? $1 a day. Over a 10-year period, last 10 years, 10 cents a day. So there's some marketing investments you can make that will last a long, long time. Putting a little sticker on the side door of your car that's advertising your business. Or the signage on a truck. A small billboard. Some of these things you say, well, they don't apply. They don't really apply in this world of the internet and artificial intelligence. Well, bull. They do apply. Because sometimes the artificial intelligence stuff is all about short term. Invest now, get a quick return on investment. But when we don't have much money, we want our best investments to keep paying dividends, right? So that's the logic that I'm using as we're moving forward here. So for long-term development, we need to think about a strategy. Actually put our brain and then work towards forecasting the different types of marketing and efforts. I didn't say advertising. The different types of marketing efforts that we can do that will bring us back some long-term returns. It's going to take some research. and such as that. Now, this is where AI might help us a lot, and I'll try this tomorrow or the next few days, is type in AI, what are the best long-term marketing tools we can do? That's what we all have to do for our marketing research for our individual businesses. So Sonia and Octavia, think about this. What can you do to spend your marketing money to bring you in the best long-term results? Well, I know this is a fact, and it's not going to change with AI or anything else. It's going to be more important as we go forward, because the folks that do this better than the other folks are going to have more business, and that is, know that branding is so important. Branding yourself, your product, and your service so it's recognizable as you, with a name, with a logo, or a song, or whatever it might be, a location possibly. Because branding goes hand in glove with reputation. If you've got a good brand of a good product, it will last a long, long time. But know this. If you've got a good brand and a bad reputation, that'll last a long time as well. So we have to maintain that high moral compass we talked about last week to protect our brand and start from day one making it work. Now, my dad was really good when we started our business back in 1959. He said, a few years into it, he said, we need a slogan. We need a slogan we can talk about. And he wanted to keep it simple. So he said, well, our slogan is going to be service that satisfies. Service that satisfies. And that stuck with us, and we're still using it today, and the new generation owners of my business are still using service that satisfies. Now we're saying service that satisfies since 1959. And most of our customers weren't born in 1959. So it has meaning. It makes you think a little bit about, wow, they've been providing good service since before I was born. Putting a message out there is really important to you. And when's the best time for you to start having a message if you don't have one now? Today. Why would you want to put it off? Let's start thinking about it. Let's get something good going on. You know what I mean? Now, a term that I don't see anyone else talking about in the webinar world is guerrilla marketing. And guerrilla marketing is a very important tool that if you can figure out a way to use it and make it work for you, is like a bomb. It is big. And sometimes we have to search for different ways to make it work for us, but guerrilla marketing is when you have a brand and you are determined to get your message out there in a memorable way, in ways that people remember you and your brand. That's when guerrilla marketing starts really paying off. It really starts paying off. And let me tell you an unusual thing that maybe you hadn't even thought would come into this paragraph, is that it is so rare to see a company, especially a small entrepreneur startup company, using mission, vision, and promise statements with core values. That indeed, in my opinion, is a type of effective guerrilla marketing you can put to work right now. In this world where so many people are lying, just telling lies, and they know they're lying, and they know that you know they're lying, but they just keep going on. There's no value for the truth in so many things that we see and hear. That when someone special like Linda and Mary Beth come forward with their businesses with a powerful mission, vision, and promise statement, it gets your attention. It's guerrilla marketing because I'm doing this and it's special and it's different in today's world, and people will remember it. And they will associate it with your brand and with you as an individual. And when you and your individual move forward with a good mission, vision, and promise statement, you're headed to be in a league of your own. Give that some serious thought. Guerrilla marketing. Now, I'm giving you a handout that goes deep into this. The handout that either you've received yet or that I will receive you tomorrow, send you tomorrow, has some in-depth, a lot different and more general information about how to make this work for you. Don't have time to get into it deep tonight. I have given webinars on guerrilla marketing that are really quite helpful. But here's basically what you're wanting to do is to find your target and audience. How do you get into guerrilla marketing? You got to have a target. Know that this particular target, put together something that's special, that's got a good looking hook in it. In other words, it is good, it's powerful, it's got a pop to it. Indeed, it will get attention and engages. And it's easy to remember. You want to make sure that the content is easy to remember so it will hang around and become part of your brand. It needs to let people know that you're doing this. And it's proven to them that you have value in your company and what you're offering to them. There's a reason that they ought to do business with you. And then you're going to need to measure how much investment you make in this guerrilla marketing tool so that you don't overdo it, but you do enough to start seeing that return on investment. And think about now, these things I'm doing, the way I'm putting this guerrilla marketing plan out there, have I got it designed for long-term return on investments? Think about that. Guerrilla marketing for short-term investments is a super powerful thing to do as well. But sometimes that's as far as people get. And my lesson tonight and for you is, as we work hard on this important marketing tool that very few people do, let's see how we can make it last for the long term. But more than anything else, in setting your business up for long-term success, is when you're looking at your marketing, remember, I've got to have a certain piece of this pie, a certain part of this plan, a certain amount of my dedicated ammunition is to engage the community, is to have my content that is in my advertising headed right straight for the community that I live in and serve and am counting on keeping me in business for a long, long time. Pointing my marketing target at the places where my employees will be, where my best customers are, where my family is, where I go to church, where I go to school, where I was raised, where people recognize me and my family. That's a big deal for long term, because where you have roots is where you get the energy to stay in business over a long, long time. So what can you do today? What can you do to make these things start happening in your new business? Well, many businesses' biggest problem is they put all their effort into just one marketing strategy. Yeah, hey, I'm doing really great. I'm using Facebook Marketplace. Or, hey, I'm doing great. I'm using Pinterest. Hey, I've got a great pop-up location where I do all my marketing and advertising, and it's really doing well for me. And I'm going to say to you right now, if you're just doing one thing, whether it's profit centers or something else, it will go south. If you're just doing a website, that's not going to make it happen. We need to look at spreading your different efforts over a lot of areas, which is spreading your risk of failure. Yeah, you're making them thinner. You have a better chance to succeed. Look at expanding your different marketing efforts. Businesses that adapt, they'll survive. Businesses do not will struggle, and die. You adapt, you survive. You don't, you die. Good examples, real examples, are remember when Blockbusters was in every shopping center where you go in and rent videos and movies and things? Blockbusters was a huge business, and their stockholders were really rolling in the dough. But it died. Why? Because streaming on television and on the internet came along, and Blockbuster didn't get into that, but who did? Netflix. And now they've had their ups and downs, but they are growing left and right now. That's a good example of adapting to what's happening. So what's happening in your particular type of business, marketing-wise, where that maybe you need to think about making a change? doing a little research and at least start getting your feet wet so that you can understand what it's going to do. But Papa Steve-O here is telling you, do more than one thing. Do more than one thing, okay? Remember, the AI is just not for big businesses, but you can use this big time in small businesses. And I think that it really applies here that as we look to the long term. Now, here's a place you might want to make some notes. Short-term media work is very valuable, and we need to do it. We have to pay our bills next week, and we need money coming in next week to do this. But I also want you to be thinking about staying in business for several years. So we'll use our short-term marketing things, such as broadcasting, social media that we just talked about, maybe buy a little advertising in a single event program that's going on in your community. Maybe put some money in ads in a small readership publication. Put some ads in there just so you can afford and say you've been there, which I do not encourage you to do. Maybe have short-term campaigns in social media, maybe just a week or a few ads. Maybe get into seasonal advertising for one season. If you hadn't ever done it before, that's better than not doing it at all. And maybe having some outdoor yard signs that you can stick around and start getting a new awareness. All these are good if they're done in the right way. All of them are bad if there's no planning or reasoning put into it, except I want to spend some money. I want to do some marketing and advertising. And Steve has said you got to spend money to make money, and that's true. But you don't need to spend it unwisely because 99% of advertising money spent in America is wasted. And we don't want to do that. So we're going to think long and hard about this. And how do you guard against wasting your money? Targeted campaigns. Remember, short term means you want an audience you're aiming at. You're not trying to be all things to all people, but you're sending your advertising message to target customer groups. That's how you can save money here. But this is short-term stuff, and it's secondary in our topic tonight. Our topic tonight is long-term. What are the investments you might want to make instead of some of those short-term investments? Well, first of all, a website is a long-term investment because that is going to be a location that people can continue to come back to and find you. It's not social media. A website is your position in the business world on the internet. And just like Stacy's location was important to her, a website represents a location that people can come back to year after year after year after year. Now, after 4 months of selling my business, I am still getting emails and phone calls from customers right now, even though the website has got other email addresses and phone calls for our new owners. People remember those links and they go back to old web pages and they save those old emails and they remember what you did then. A website is a plantation for you for a long time. It's better than having a social media Facebook page. Those other things are important, but having your website is very, very important. If you don't have a website, you can certainly have My Business on Google account, which is right in there, very important as well. Don't cost hardly anything. The same way with your YouTube channel. Creating your My Business at Google account and YouTube channels are long-term focus, because that's where people will go back to. You're easy to be found there. So keep that in mind. Find the time and effort to get your own website running, to have your own My Business at Google account and your own YouTube channel. Structured outdoor signage for the long term is important. And here's something pretty interesting. I've been doing this for 19 years. And this is the first slide I've put up that has really encouraged you to consider outdoor signage for your business, because pretty much everybody else is talking about the internet. But I want to tell you that outdoor signage is still a powerful tool, especially for that world of customers that do not do their shopping on the internet and are influenced by outdoor signage. that they're seeing every day, because you see that sign that's up there every day is seen by people every time they pass it. And it's knocking down. It is knocking down that 27 times rule, where people have to see your ad 9 times before they consider doing business with you. Outdoor advertising gets them over and over and over again. Maybe it's just a subtle message that is selling your brand, your name, and your mission, vision, and promise statements that you're making to your customers. Outdoor advertising can be a super good investment for certain businesses, especially if you can find them in the right location and in the right situation with good pricing. And this, again, takes negotiating and such as that. Now, all of us are generally in an area where we go up and down I-40, Interstate 40, Interstate 95, 77, I-20 around. We all are traveling these interstates. And have you noticed now that the billboard signs, a lot of them are repetitious? The same sign, the same message will be on the sign right here, and we go down the road an eighth of a mile, and there it is again. And we go down the road another eighth of a mile, and there it is again. What are they thinking about? These things are costing these folks $1,500 to $4,500 a month. Big money's being spent, and why would they be putting that repetition up there? Why would a company do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because people will miss seeing your ad 2 out of 3 times, doing the very best that you can do wherever you put it. And these companies have taken that logic and said, well, if I put enough of these signs up, they'll certainly see some of them. And just the mere fact that they are repetitious, indeed will get them to read them. So maybe I'm spending a lot of money in one place, but I'm at least getting some readership here by doing this. This is a fact. And you don't have to be doing it with $4,500 signs on the interstate. You could be doing the same type of messaging with $400, $200 a month rentals on your main roads where you're living, Highway 421, 24, 87, 13, 74, the different major routes. It don't have to be on the interstate, but if it's in your location and your particular clientele, your target marketing is going up and down this road and you know it every day, then maybe this is a very good long-term investment you can make for long-term results. Especially now, let me pull this in now, being there long-term, year after year, is your key to having the location. And then when you couple that with seasonal advertising, where you change that paper on those billboards with the seasons, then you got a double whammy going on, a good guerrilla marketing opportunity to take these fixed signs that is all about your long-term customer marketing and doubling up its power with short-term seasonal targeted ads. Then you got a chance to see some really good return on investments. But they got to be there a while. What you're doing is saying to those customers, I am here to stay and I've got a good business. And this doesn't have to be a bricks and mortar store. This can be your internet selling stores. You figure out a way to get them to come to your internet and do the shopping, just like you would figure out to get them to come to your store and do the shopping. Okay? Outdoor advertising can be very, very popular. It is also one of the very best methods that you can stay active and visible in your community. Again, I'm owning up right now. I failed in this. I spent millions of dollars in advertising and internet marketing such as that after I sold my bricks and mortar business. I should have taken a good 10 to 15% of that and reinvested it in Dunn, Harnett County, Clinton, Eastern North Carolina, Goldsboro, Wilmington, Edenton, places where I had a good customer base of local customers. And I ignored them and went to the nationwide market. Big mistake, I admit to it. Working back towards it now and encouraging our new owners to take a good look at that. even though you're going to be an internet business and that's where you feel like most of your business will come from, again, let me underscore, find a way to connect and be a business for your local community where you're selling things that they want and things that they need, and they will keep you in business in good times and bad times for sustainability and the long haul. Be a human, big deal. So that's the thrust of tonight's lesson. We're pretty much right on schedule with time. It's a little bit shorter than usual. I'd appreciate your comments on any particular subjects that we talked about tonight. And remember, next week's going to be an important, we're going to talk about the 4 foundations for pretty much any business that wants to stay in business for the long haul. Thank you all for your continued good attendance. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll have good information to send to you tomorrow with your video. So tell me what you think. Roy, it's good to have you back, and I'm looking forward to meeting you here in Dunn. We got to make that happen. Any comments, please? Hey, Sarita, can you lead us off?
Hey, I was getting ready to say I like your shout out to the restaurant and Dunn. That was right nice.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I bet you've got a restaurant that you kind of feel the same way about, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that effort. It is a special place. And let me do, if any of you like to comment on a business in your community that you think goes the extra mile for hospitality, I'd like to hear about it. Tell us about them.
I would like to say Showmars is pretty good. If they've been in business for a long time, I've been eating sometimes, but I like to cook now. So, yeah, I think shout out Showmars. And I also want to say I had a great time tonight. I always enjoy hearing the history of your business and encouraging me to have long-term investment in my business. I am definitely working on branding. And I'm looking forward to some of the notes that you're going to send us and the recording, too. So thank you so much again. And I love Stacy. If I live close by, we'll give you some cornbread.
Fantastic. Go to her Facebook page and tell her we were bragging on her. And you can go to chat and type in the name of the company you were recommending, and we can do that for them as well.
All right.
So, let's get used to patting other people on the back. Let me tell you, we'll always come back and help you. Showing appreciation for what other people are doing is a good way to start a network of your own, no doubt. Thank you, Sonia. You're a sweetheart, and we appreciate you.
I appreciate the business too. So I figure when I get on that side of town, I'm going to visit that restaurant. There's one here in Wallace that I visit a lot. It's called A Taste of Sensations. They're really good with seniors. They offer senior discounts for the meals. It's all you can eat. If you have a busload that's coming there, the driver normally eats free, and they're really great.
There you go. Is this Tisha?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear you. Well, I have been to Sensations. I had a business meeting there with a customer, and you're right, they are really a special place. Sensations is that in Wallace?
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. Thanks for mentioning that, and good to hear you. All right. Kendall, you hear what we're saying about that type of hospitality, and that's what's going to make your business go wild and grow as well.
Yes, I hear. I'm taking it all in.
Very good. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. God bless our veterans and their families that have made the sacrifices through the years so that we can enjoy a free land to live in and have our own business without having to bow down to somebody. So God bless you all. Keep Jesus, my friend Jesus, in your life, or find that inspiration that we all need to charge our batteries. Have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Y'all take care. Good night.
Good night, Steve.
Good night. Steve?
Good night.
Yes.
Hello?
Go ahead.
I just want to thank you so much for being who you are. And I appreciate what you, from start to finish, showing us how much you care. You do have the fruits of the Spirit, and I want to let you know, thank you so much. I see you.
Amen to that. Yes.
Shine your light. What a
Well,
blessing. It's a blessing being here.
Yeah, and y'all, I agree. Thank you so much. Makes me feel so good, and I know all of y'all will be blessings to other folks as well. Good night, family. Good night, John Boy.
Good night.
Good night.